like, I don't know, I was like listening while I'm in the car and stuff, so I couldn't take notes. So I was like, let me
Yeah.
just see if ChatGPT will give me the notes real quick. Uh, and it's at least not all Harry and Meghan. Um, let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from their website that we probably destroyed last week.
Oh yes. So let's talk about that since you texted me afterwards or messaged me afterwards. So
Yeah.
Trevor, what did you find about asever.com last week after we talked about it?
Well, we would assume that because of the marketing department and everything else that they're pretty well off to pay their developers and get something custom made. And one of the biggest things that I think we mentioned last week was that their website fell over because people were trying to ascertain how much stock they held.
Right.
Well,
Yes.
it so happens that they have a probably a marketing person to manage their website, which is all
Mhm.
well and good.
Right.
But the whole website is supported and built on Shopify. It is not a custom website, and I thought it was rather strange. If I'm promoting my own brand, I don't even have my own face on the website.
Right. That is true. And that we'll we'll keep that in mind for something new today to talk about that is
Hmm.
related. But yeah, that just seems weird because like I mean, in theory, I guess there's nothing wrong with Shopify as long but as far as I know, it just seems like it's like a plug and play thing, right? Like, it's just for like if I needed to
Yeah,
store if I needed to step an online shop real fast, I would do it, right? Like
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
it's I wouldn't say it's a cottage industry,
right,
but it's certainly if you don't have the investment of cash to build your own website,
right,
Shopify is going to be a third party application for you.
right,
Why would somebody with all this prestige about
sure,
how we are unique and the best and we do
right,
quality use I'm not I don't want to demise Shopify here, but why
sure,
would you want to use something like Shopify, which has its limitations? Because all you're really doing is, oh, here's a few colors. Here are my photos. I drag and drop them. I put a price on
right,
it, and it'll send
right,
me the email to say I've sold 2 jars of marmalade and a bookmarker.
right, right.
Um, that's not complicated to build, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you look at, well, who do I contact for my customer service if something goes wrong?
All right.
Is
Yeah.
it's not even that it's hosted and performed by Shopify. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, it's like, do you have a
It-
specific rep there? Like to contact.
yeah, just the Megan rep only because he must be
Mhm.
overwhelmed with outreaches
Right,
with things going wrong. Um, why didn't they sell it on Amazon? It's the
right.
same
Well,
thing.
yeah. Yes, but they wouldn't be able, you can't make it look pretty on Amazon, right? You can't have it,
Well,
it would just look
you
like it's
can't
on
brand
Amazon.
it. Yeah, you can't brand
Yeah,
it
you
so
can't brand
well
it.
on
Yeah.
Amazon, but at least they have a good stock control and delivery system.
Right, right. Yes. So yeah, so I'm looking, I went to the website now, to asever.com. So shop hot drinks.
Mm.
Uh the the bookmark that we
Yeah.
talked about last week, the $18 leather
Hmm.
bookmark. What I think is really funny is so Jack Royston with the Royal Report, he's always been very harsh critically on the flower sprinkles. He thinks they're just the
Mm.
silliest frivolous, but and he understands that there's a market for it. But
Yeah.
like he's just like
Hmm.
personally for me, he just seems so silly and pointless. But
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, but he was saying how it's actually a very nice leather bookmark. He's like, it's a bit expensive at 18, but he was like, it's a
Mm.
very nice, and he thought it was, he liked that it says like, fell asleep here, and like that you can mark the exact line that you're on or whatever.
Mm.
It's like,
Okay.
so I guess it's just very much a, what are you, what kind of consumer are you? Because to me, it was like leather
Yeah.
bookmark, like who cares? But but I would
Yeah.
do
Not
the
many
flower
people read
sprinkles.
books.
Like that would be fun.
Well, yeah, and come on, to be honest with you, we're talking about a branding. We're talking about a concept of having luxury goods, homemade goods. How many items are there for sale in total on the whole website? Is it eight, 10? Not many.
Not a ton, yeah.
No, and some of them are done as a pack. It's like, here's a candle and a
Right,
bookmark. Do you want to buy a candle? Or on the other one, you can buy a
right.
bookmark.
That's
So
true.
some of
Yeah,
them,
yeah, yeah.
so the number of items is only about seven, I think.
Right. And they just mix and match them for different gift
Bundles.
keepers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bundles. People like bundles in
Bundles.
America.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. So on the website it doesn't say as much about the bookmark as what Jack Royston was saying, because I guess he has like gets the newsletter that they send out.
Hmm.
So
Oh gosh,
I
yeah.
should sign up for that. But it's uh it's made by a super small uh company in the UK, like in England somewhere. So
Mm.
so it's sort of like a, how she likes in the past likes to kind of use her name to help out smaller companies, and I guess she pointed out it's female owned, that kind of thing.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
she somehow has found this place, and Jack is just always kind of curious of like, is it part of like preparing like PR, like, a step in preparing PR over in England, like for her slash Harry, right? Like if they start doing business
Mm.
with places over there.
Oh, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Pick
Yeah, like
somebody small because they haven't got the publicity to actually drop the ball and make it public that they're doing work with them. So therefore, they're a nobody. So therefore, they're
right.
easier to shut up if anything goes wrong.
That's good devil's
Oh,
advocate. But
yes.
yeah, but if it all goes right, then we are heroes for helping this small company.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's
I,
great.
I just, I
No, I
just
know, I know. That's why I
got
said it like that.
so, I got so disappointed thinking that they couldn't even brand it themselves or host it themselves.
Oh, the website?
That yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, the whole site.
for me it's tarnished everything because I'm looking at it and this is something I'm talking about next week.
Hmm.
When you want to do your deep search on a company to see if it's trustworthy, where it's
Yeah.
hosted and what have you, most scammers are going to
Hmm.
use something they don't have to pay money for because they don't want to get caught. They don't want to have an account with them.
Sure.
So if my email return is a Gmail or a Yahoo or an
All
Outlook
right.
or a Hotmail, most scam emails come from those emails. Why? Because they're
Right.
easy to create 1,000 of them and they're just easy to close them
Right.
without anybody really knowing who you are or where you are.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
business, why would you want to subject yourself to being an amateur when maybe you've studied and you're experienced for 20 years, you've got a degree, and you make a lot of money, but you use a Gmail account for your contact.
Right. Right.
I don't see Coca-Cola or Starbucks or even Five Guys.
Yeah.
Five Guys is kind of a chain, relatively
Sure. Yeah,
international.
yeah.
And I'm just trying to think of something else that maybe a hamburger joint. Smashburger might be a bit smaller than
Oh, that's
that.
true.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to,
Uh,
a pet shop. Woofs.
right.
There you go. That's kind of a local thing in Florida. They all have their own email account. They won't use Gmail.
Right. That's true. Yeah. So I wonder what Megan's email address is. Is it at asever.com?
Yeah. Well, I think I didn't look that far, but
Yeah, I know.
because it
They'd have to hide her. I mean, they have to hide her away. They can't make her give her an easy email address. I wouldn't think, right? She's not gonna be like Megan at asever.com or something, right?
well, why not? But it's not her
Because
who's going to see the emails.
then anyone can guess an emailer.
Yeah, but nobody would actually. Do you really think that she's going to be sat back at home? Oh, Harry, somebody sent me an email. They're going to an order. Look, another order's coming. No, they're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
paying somebody to manage that email and do the fulfillment, and then just tell
Right,
them,
right,
oh, this month, Megan, you sold 4 items and you made a profit of $28.32,
right, right. Well, that's
or maybe
what,
add a few zeros.
yes, we had, I think this when I was an intern, uh, like an internship program, and we had a speaker. She, at the time, was the executive producer of Oprah, like the show was still running. And one of her tips was that like everybody's email addresses in business are usually thebusinessname.com, right? Or at
Hmm.
thebusinessname.com. And basically to send emails to different variations of the name of the person you're trying to reach to guess,
Correct.
yeah, yeah, to guess if it's like
Yes.
first name or first name dot last name or like,
Hmm.
an
Both of them
initial.
without the dot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, that's how I don't know if I ever told you this story, but when we lived in Brazil before we came to Orlando, we had an LG flat screen TV, bought it and it went wrong. And then we called them. I said, oh, yes, we'll sort out the problem for you, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets to the point that nobody's responding to anybody to do customer service. And
Mm,
this went on like we're sat there looking at the blanks. No, I don't think we were looking at the blank screen. We are looking at the blank space where the TV was for
mm,
like 2 months. We've got
yeah.
nothing because they can't repair it, they can't replace it, they can't. So Kay says, "Well, all right, I'll find the CEO of LG." Well, we go to the LG website, we can see that they've got their email address.
There-
Okay, so we know what it is. We found the name,
Oh my God.
and she sat there and wrote out all the different combinations
Oh my
to get to the
gosh.
CEO.
Right.
Within 24 hours, we have a reply from the CEO
Oh my God. That's awesome.
saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this should not happen. We should have customer service, and our staff should not hang up on your phone call, and they
Yeah, yeah,
should
yeah.
identify themselves. I am now contacting the director in Brazil, who will
Yeah,
be contacting you, sort of like in due course."
sure.
Oh, literally within about an hour after that, he was on the phone to Katya and said, "Oh, yeah, so sorry. That I understand the
Oh my
CEO has
gosh.
spoken to you, and we're going to replace your TV for you."
That's amazing. That's so fun.
So it does work. If you really want to do that,
Yeah,
you have to think of all the combinations, like first
right,
name, surname,
right,
without it, just the surname, just with a dot, without a dot, with a dash, without a dash, and think of all
right.
different types of combinations.
Sometimes it's
So
like first initial with last name or first name with last initial.
yes, yeah. So, do that. And if you're not sure of the combination, well, now you can do this with AI. You say, right,
Yeah.
give me all the combinations of a
You're right.
standard
You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of email addresses and copy and paste it in there. Eventually, one will get through.
Right, right. That's true. That's really funny. Well,
Sorry, I
so
digress there.
no, you're fine. No, I'm like that was really interesting. I was like, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Um,
Mm.
so let's see. So I told you beforehand that I use ChatGPT to help me with talking points from Jack Royston's Royal Reports because there are two
Yeah.
of them.
Hmm.
And so I just copied and pasted the transcript. Um, let's see. Some of it though, I'm like, I don't care about that. So Prince Harry is in court right now. I think it's like 9 weeks.
Okay.
He's testifying in high court,
Hmm.
giving evidence at the UK High Court in his lawsuit against the Associated Newspapers Limited.
Hmm.
The case targets the publisher of the Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, and Mail Online. Um, and let's see. So the allegations span more than a decade. So Harry claims unlawful news gathering occurred between 2001 and 2013, covering much of his youth and early adulthood. He identifies 14 specific articles he believes were obtained through illegal means. So here's the illegal means. So phone hacking, right, and intercepting voicemails without consent,
Mhm.
live call interception, so listening in on active telephone calls, and then do you know what blagging is? It's it's journalists
No.
allegedly impersonating others or using deception to
Mm.
obtain private information. So, being
Okay.
like, "Oh, I'm so and so's,
PA.
assistant." Yeah, 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 exactly.
Mm.
PA. And it's like, so I just needed to know, like, what flight are they going to be on or whatever, like,
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens, but it's Jack was pointing out, he's like, even like he thinks that Harry will get some kind of win out of this, hopes that
Yeah.
he will, but uh, it's hard for, I'll say, the general public to care too much because of time. So because it's
Mm.
a like it's so he's like, when everybody found out about it at first in like 2013, everyone's up in arms, right? Like one of them, they
Yeah.
pointed out like a phone call between him and William talking about some Italian tabloid that was going to post pictures of Diana like dying in the car wreck or whatever. Like you
Mm.
had like
Yeah.
serious pictures of their mom.
Mm.
Um, and so there, and then people are published articles where it's like literally not said that outside of this phone call. So how
Yeah.
else?
And to be honest with you, how did they get to drop in on their phone to record those messages?
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know.
that is more of the problem than
Yeah,
the actual, oh, we've heard this on a telephone call.
sure, sure.
Is like, how do they get access to that device?
Right,
Because that is a lawsuit in itself, isn't it? Because again, that is invasion of privacy.
right,
Whoever put that information or made it available, that is
mhm,
the lawsuit. The
right,
consequences are that they then shared that with the press.
right. But do you have to have the physical phone, one of the phones to do it? Or is it just like, I don't know, back in the old days, there's landlines where they like tapped into it, but that's because what? There's a line? I don't know. Like,
I think
because there
if it was
was like,
a
yeah,
landline, you
because
wouldn't have to, would you? Because you could actually intercept the telephone cables
that's what I thought people
and
did. Yeah,
yeah. And also if you think about where it went through the telephone exchange system,
right,
you
right,
can have
right.
somebody maybe at that point to get
Yeah, like,
the sound clips or whatever. So
right,
yeah, at that point, but you still need a lot of tech and a lot of secrecy to break into these, like break
right,
into AT&T to their servers so you can connect to it.
right, right.
Um,
Well, I know I've heard the voicemails as far as them listening to voicemails without consent um is because, especially, remember when like you used to call your voicemail by like calling the number or something, like
mm,
calling your own number and like waiting and I don't know, putting in whatever pin number. So I
yes.
guess people were somehow just like doing that from any phone and like somehow guessing,
Yeah.
I guess, being able to check the voicemails. And like, I think I heard that like either Harry or William, one of them, it was like, or maybe both, but it was like the way they knew it was happening was because it's like their phone would say, like, voicemail's been listened to and they hadn't
Mm,
listened to it. So, like,
yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah, it is. That and that, I was trying to think what else. My mind thought of something there. You mentioned it, and I couldn't
Sorry,
retain it.
how
Well,
to
not
get
your
into
fault.
it. I know, it's like how to get into, like, how do you tap into it, the wire of a cell phone?
Well, yeah, yeah.
It's just
That's the
like,
thing, isn't it? Is
what,
the
radio
content of it.
frequencies?
Yeah, it could you could do that. Um, no, I can't think where I was going to go with it now. It might come back to me. But the thing with all technology, none of it is. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I
Yeah,
think before the modern technology, all the calls in and out of the Buckingham Palace or royal residence
yeah.
were recorded anyhow.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I, I I vaguely remember that it was said that all the calls in and out
Right.
were always recorded. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that was highlighted even in the
In The
Crown
Crown? I'm
when
trying.
Charles was talking to Camilla or something.
Well, the Charles when they got when they were
Oh,
overheard
hang on.
about.
So
Hmm? Did you say hang on?
yeah, because somebody's trying to
Oh,
call me on the
oh,
on
sorry.
the
Okay.
so okay, because everything went blank.
Oh,
So I
gotcha.
now need so now you can continue
I can
talking.
still, yeah, I was like, I can still see you.
Oh yeah, I just couldn't hear because I had a ring telephone ring.
Right,
Ironically,
right.
somebody was trying to call me on my
Yeah, you're right.
computer.
Yeah, someone's trying to intercept us. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, I think, oh shoot, now I lost it. Where I was going.
We were talking about the Crown, where we thought
Crown.
that maybe Charles and
Oh,
Camilla's
yes.
calls were
Charles and
recorded.
Camilla. So when they were caught with the, what did they call it? Tampax Gate or whatever, that silly
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
That was at least in the dramatization of The Crown. The way that they showed that was that there was just some guy in a van that like looks for, I don't know, like intercepts different things just for fun, I guess. And
Mm.
he just stumbled upon it and was like, whoa, 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 what's this? And realized it's probably something he could
Mm.
sell. And like that's
Yeah.
how it got up. But he wasn't like someone actually looking out for royal stuff. I think he's just a weirdo listening into like
Yeah,
conversations.
and I think you're right. At that point, is like if you think of CB radio, you
Yeah,
tune into a frequency, and all of a sudden you
yeah,
manage to pick it up because maybe that's how they sent the telephone signal to whoever.
right,
Um, so yeah, I guess it's not encrypted, which now cell phones are with a signal.
right.
It's not so easy to hack into
Do that.
the radio frequency.
Hmm. Yeah. So we'll see what comes of the trial. I believe it's 9 weeks. I don't think he's expected to stay there the whole 9 weeks. He's just there for the beginning part.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, the other thing, so the so and for the Brits, removal vans, or for Americans, moving
Mm.
vans. I learned
Don't
that moving
don't
vans are called removal
oh,
vans.
okay,
You
but
don't
don't
call
all vans and cars move anyhow? So how do you distinguish between a van that moves and a moving van?
it's a van for moving.
But they all move, don't they? They all
Yeah,
move.
they do. But it sounds weird to say removal as if like you're gonna trash everything in your house. Like it's not like relocating vans. Like
Oh,
that's what I would think
yeah.
it would be. Like removal
Re,
sounds like garbage. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Um, but you're removing the furniture from the house.
Right. Right.
You're
But
just not
then what so
specifying where it goes.
what kind of van delivers it to the new house? Still removal van? Because
The
they're not
removal van.
removing.
Yeah.
They're putting it
Yeah.
here. So anyway, removal vans have been seen arriving at Andrew Mountbatten's Windsor's home. So he's
Mm.
finally getting kicked out of Royal Lodge and getting moved to his place in Sandringham. Right, that's where they spend Christmas, right? Sandringham.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So he's going to be in like a, we'll say a small house, one of the small houses. He's not in the big house. Um,
No, he's not, is he?
yeah,
He's not welcome to the big boys'
right.
grounds.
Yes, yes. And apparently, Eugenie, his daughter, one of his daughters,
Hmm.
is not speaking with him right now.
Oh,
That
do we know?
is,
I did kind of see that, but I didn't follow up with it.
yeah, well, he just said that she's not, but I guess Beatrice still technically is or
Mm.
will talk to him. But he was kind of saying that even though it's not like he is going to have to go to court or like go to, prison or anything, but he's like, he's essentially being completely isolated out there. He's like, because the family doesn't live in Sandringham. Like they're part of like
Yeah.
a little bit throughout the year, but for the rest of the time, he's like, I mean, yeah, it's nicer than prison because you've got like butlers and housekeepers or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's still isolation. Like you're not gonna have
Mm.
probably a lot of people. And apparently, I didn't know this about him. Apparently, it's widely known that he loves playing Call of Duty
Oh,
computer games a lot.
fair enough. Well, he ain't got much else to do now. He's not
I know.
working royal.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, I guess you might as well. I didn't know this either.
Yeah.
Jack Royson said that apparently that's a big complaint of Brits in the United Kingdom that in UK prisons, prisoners are
Mm.
allowed to play computer games. Like that's one of the things they
Oh.
can do while they're in prison, and they think
Oh,
that
okay.
they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Hmm.
But so it's like so he's even doing what other prisoners are doing.
Well,
He's
yeah. I was gonna say, and
alone
the
playing games.
cons.
Yeah, but
And
yeah.
to be honest with you, let's put him in prison.
Mhm.
That is a huge dynamic, which is just not gonna work that well because it's like, okay, you're gonna lock the door, right? Okay, you can play Call of Duty,
Yeah,
evidently. He'll still have access to TV and probably sports
right,
programs and news, so he know
right.
what's going on outside. He'll have a job maybe, but then he wouldn't have a job because it
It's
might not be
him.
safe for him
Oh yeah,
because it's
that's
him.
true. Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
He'd
I just
have,
don't think he would want to, but yeah.
yeah, he probably
Also,
would.
it's not safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So now where are you going to put him? You're going to put him in in a solitary confinement,
Right.
of which, okay, now you've got to give him a private bathroom, a private shower, a private TV, a private games machine.
Right.
Well,
Right.
he might as well be under house arrest at home.
Right. Right. So it's like, yes,
Um,
he has very nice grounds to like walk around. You know, he has
yeah.
outside freedom, outdoors freedom, that the average prisoner does not. But
Well, yeah, you take the
but
garden behind you. You know, you walk through that because it's catered for. But maybe in a
right.
prison they have gardeners, so they could make something, not maybe some bushes, but there's still a
Right. Right.
garden. There's a
Right.
sports courtyard.
He-
Um, he's not going to have any real interaction with people, where at least he's still going to be served his meals. He's still going to have a butler
yeah.
to whatever. Um, it's difficult, isn't it? You say these people are above the law. Well,
Yeah.
they're not above the law, but then you can't also put them into the same punishment system as everybody
Right. Right.
else.
Right. It's like you still, yeah, you know, whatever punishment for his, uh, just for who he is,
Yeah.
like what type of person he is,
Yeah.
and who he
Well,
is in. Yeah.
where would you put them? See, I
Right.
haven't followed this up, but they put in prison the president of Brazil. Now they
Oh.
overturned it and they let him out.
Hmm.
Theoretically, the President Trump has been so, well, he should go to prison too.
Sure.
And that's not because of what he's doing now. That was before,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
We
Right.
got the reaction. So I'm saying,
Yes.
okay, imagine putting, and we're picking Trump just because he's the current president
Sure.
and he's the most controversial at the moment.
Yes.
If he was to go to jail, how and where would you really put him? Because to be fair, if he
That's
goes
a good
into
point.
general population,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. It just,
It's not
we
gonna work.
can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we isolate him into, let's say, a private house in a secret place, we still need
Right.
security around it. We're
Right.
still, you know, you might as well put him in the house arrest in
Right.
in the White House.
Right.
Now, if you think about it, even though he's in public eye, he is pretty much isolated.
Yeah. He very much
From
is.
doing very
Yeah.
much because you're always spied upon or where you are. There is a
Right.
very limited amount of private downtime without somebody seeing where you are, what you're doing, what you say,
Right.
which is just like prison.
Right. That's true. And
So,
I guess Epstein in 2008, the first time he went to prison or whatever, it was actually like house arrest kind of thing.
yeah,
So it
hmm
was more similar to what Andrew's got now.
yeah.
But then I guess to your point, and then when he was in regular prison, that didn't last long, did it? Like
No, yeah, something went wrong there, didn't
regardless
it?
of yeah, regardless of who you want to blame or what you want to say happened,
Yeah.
it still ended that way. Like,
Yeah. Should there
and
be should there be a prison for like famous people?
right. I mean, probably, actually, you're right. There probably should be because also it's like there's a dating app for famous people. I hear them talk about it
Mm,
on my podcast. It's called Raya. I
okay.
don't know how you spell it, but yeah,
Okay.
if you're famous enough, I guess you can get onto Raya.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, so yeah, maybe they should have a special prison that's not that it's creature comfort special, but just like a
Mm.
safety wise.
Safety wise, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe it should be, let's say, something like the island of Alcatraz,
yeah.
because yeah, theoretically it's kind of secluded, but it's got its own grounds. The only way you can
Right,
get there is either by boat or plane, so you can't just walk up to it.
right,
It's not an easy thing to escape from.
right.
So maybe that, and I picked that not because I know he wanted to bring it back, but because
Yeah,
if you think about it, it's very difficult to get on and
with that
off
type of thing. Yeah,
without the
yeah.
proper transportation.
Right. That's
So
true. Yeah.
there has to be a lot of places like that around the world where you can build these type of dwellings. I won't call it a
Yes.
prison, a
Yeah.
dwelling. Um, and I know people have joked about this in the past. Oh, let's put them in on a desert island somewhere and let them fend for themselves. Well,
Right.
that's pretty much what it is at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking now, I'm just like thinking about them on a place like Alcatraz, and I'm like, I wonder if any of them would be like, historical prisoners who actually tried to escape, and like makeshift boats
Yeah.
and swimming and like, and usually didn't end up well. It's like, I'm like,
Well, yeah.
would the average celebrity even like risk that? I don't know. I wonder if it would be like a more
No.
secure prison because no one's trying anything, or you might have to be careful because like guards are more likely to be bribed. Like these people, in theory, would have money.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
true. But then
but I think
I
that's
guess it's
already a problem.
yeah, that's the problem anyhow. It is in Brazil,
Mhm.
that's how the drug dealers don't get caught so easy.
Right.
Um, but if they are in a place like that, escaping to some degree has is even more dangerous because if you've got a famous face,
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
can't even.
you're
Where are
gonna
you supposed to
you
go? Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Everyone will know. Like, wait a second, you're not supposed to be out here, right?
It's like this that you're out of all the criminals, the famous ones, let's say 1,000 of them, and you've got
Right.
7 billion people on the planet who probably recognize your face, but you shouldn't be here.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're
So
right.
you
Yeah,
now
you
have to
can't
go
get
into
away.
hiding again
Yeah,
in
you
an
can't get away
isolated
with it
place.
by just like changing your hair color or like,
Mm-mm.
growing a beard, shaving your beard, whatever you've got. Like
Yeah,
they'll still be like, we know who you are.
yeah. And then you'd have to find another isolated place so nobody can actually see you or recognize you,
Right.
which is what you just escaped from in the first place.
So well, that's a fun thought experiment.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
the other topic I was going to bring up because I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Mm,
It's I guess technology related. So,
mm,
um, Kate and William, when they first started kind of putting out sort of those well produced videos online that were
mm,
like, hey, look at us, whatever, it was very much seen at the time as like, wow, this is awesome. Like we're getting to see them, they're sharing.
mm,
And then Jack Royson pointed out, he's like, but technology and what people like, it moves so fast that he's like, and the palace in general doesn't. And he's like,
yeah.
so they're still making these highly produced videos. And that's when it's
Mm,
like, there's been a lot of backlash, recently, like when they had the one where she was just announcing the end of her chemo and everyone was all
mm,
upset because it was just videography of them with their kids out in the country and then Kate
mm,
doing an official voiceover, like a scripted voiceover. And so it's sort of like he's saying that what's what he thinks we're heading back towards, especially because of AI, and AI is getting so good that people are like, I don't even know if who I'm looking at is real, is
Mm,
that it's gonna be back to a face-to-face in-person thing. He's like, which the Queen excelled at. And he said, he's crazy. I feel like this can't be true, but I swear he said something like 30% of people had like stories that they had seen her or whatever. Like she made herself
mm,
available to so that each person could sort, or almost, a lot of people could have their individual, their little story, their moment with her. And
yes.
that goes a long way, that little
Hmm.
interaction. But Kate and William have been trying to take a step back because they're trying to have boundaries for their, family and their lives and
Yeah.
health. So it's sort of like, what what's gonna happen? Like, what are they gonna kind of be forced? And they've got a new PR person, so they hired a new PR person, and she, in her last job, her specialty was crisis management. So Jack was like, what's like, this doesn't mean that it has to be that they got her because
Mm.
it's crisis management. But he's like, but it could be very helpful. Like if Harry and Meghan come back or like do something else, like this is probably going to be a really good PR person to have on the team. But he's saying that
Hmm.
she might be the one that hopefully pushes them to like, you got to start doing more in-person visits and less produced video, like more just off the tick one shot videos or whatever. So what do you think about that? All of that.
Well, if we go back to the old style where the Queen would go out and talk to people,
Hmm.
that has a very human element to it. So it shows that you're part of them. If you only do digital, then you're kind of like you're not connecting with the people. You're hiding yourself away a little bit more.
Right,
But then on the other side, you can do more of those little snippets and videos and show it because it's a safe environment to film from your own location and
right,
broadcast it. Where the
right,
Queen had to have a lot of security around her
right.
to
That's
do that.
true.
Um, and in this day and age, there's always a crazy person and a madman out
Yeah,
there.
right.
50 years ago, there were a few lunatics, maybe, but now it seems like they're all out there, and
They're all,
I
yeah.
we can't distinguish between one and the other.
Hmm. That's
So
true.
I don't know. It's the thing I would like to know is that if the video is of Kate and William or any of the royals, that it is real.
Hmm.
Because now we can create so many fake things with
Right.
AI. Is it true or is it not true? And I guess the only way that can be done is it has to have its own broadcasting channel. The only place it can be
Yeah.
shown would be, let's say, the royal TV channel, the royal social
Right.
media channel,
Hmm.
and that's the only place it can be seen. It can, and with technology, it cannot be copied. Well,
Right.
it's almost impossible not
Right.
to copy. Even if you did copy it, it's the same as the
Right.
original from the same source.
Right. Right.
It's only then with AI, if I copied it, could I manipulate it to Kate
Right.
to say something different and then
Hmm.
post it on social media. Maybe that's the place where they shouldn't be posting, but they have their own designated channel, which is only available from the royal residence,
Right.
from Buckingham Palace
Well,
or something.
right. And I mean, I feel like there can be uh happy medium, or at least you don't have to completely cut out videos.
Yeah.
Just have them less produced. But I
Hmm.
was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, like I feel like when I catch different things on Facebook that are usually like Charles and Camilla, it's just little quick videos of what they've been up to that day, and it shows them out and shaking people's hands and things, right? Or like
Yeah.
whatever interaction they had with someone. I think like William had a really cute interaction with like a little boy once that was like caught on caught on the phone. So if
Hmm.
they can use more of those things too, so like they're having the in-person interactions, but then they're showing the in-person like interactions online, you
Yeah.
kind of get both,
Hmm.
or you at least get to like
Yeah.
use it, more kill two birds with one stone kind of thing.
I I think it can be done.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm in the tech world.
Right.
I would like to see maybe that exposure because now that they are using tech, we all use it. It's just if anybody uses it for bad purposes, but then they can do that with anybody. They can,
Yeah.
um, and they can spout off fake news,
Sure.
to, like a lot of people do these days.
Right. Right.
Um, and I think if it was done in the sense that the original is always available from this one source,
Hmm.
which isn't, let's say, the big platforms like X and TikTok and Instagram or whatever.
Right.
Um, they can still have their photos if they release it, but the video source should come from maybe their own TV channel or their own YouTube equivalent channel. So if the
That's true.
videos are
Yeah.
ever placed anywhere else, it's you would know that that's not the original source.
Right. Right. That's
It's
true.
like
So you,
BBC content, isn't it? All original BBC content comes from BBC.
right.
All
Right.
ABC content is all on ABC. All Netflix
Right.
is all on Netflix. So
Right. Right. And if
have a
you
streaming
share,
platform
right, and if you share it, it shows that it was shared from
shared
BBC or
wherever.
wherever. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. You can't
So
post it as your own video. Yeah.
no. And even if you did change it, then people would say, "Oh, no, that's fake one."
Right. Right.
Um, I think it's
Yes.
possible. Technology's there to
Right.
do it. How much they post or what they post is now controlled. And if you're interested, you'll go and seek it out. If you're not interested, you don't have to see it
Right.
splattered all over your timeline.
Right. Right.
Keeps
Yeah.
everybody happy.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't
Yeah.
want to follow the news of certain people, um, and it shows up, it annoys you, especially if it's
Yeah.
religion, politics, whatever,
Right.
or news. If it annoys you and then you're going to do something about it, well, if you want to seek it out, go to the source. And
Right.
maybe this is where social media, in one sense, is getting it wrong because they're
Hmm.
publishing it all there. Maybe they should just be writing something to say to see the original, you go here,
Hmm.
so they can broadcast it.
Right.
But I think people would know at that point, oh, I can't get the video, I can't get the content unless I go to the
Right.
official, like the Washington Post. If I want
Right.
their news, I have to go to their website and I have to get
Oh,
their
you do.
videos from there.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
they can monetize it too. There's a thing for Meghan and Harry to do. That's a better way to
That's
monetize
true.
their
Yeah.
American living.
Yes. Yes. That's funny. That would be interesting. Apparently, Megan's at an all-time low for her popularity in England. And Charles is at his all-time high. Um,
Yeah.
like over
Uh-huh.
60% or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
I forget how, I think, oh, I know. He said Megan's down to 19, which is the lowest she's ever been. And I forget what he said Harry is, but it's not like, you know,
Mm.
because he's British, he's at least like more than Megan,
Like 22.
but he's still not
Um,
like a whole lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Um,
think about it, I sense this is the feeling of the general public of England.
mhm.
You are our Dutch and Duchess, or the Duke and Duchess, sorry.
Right,
You don't live here. You don't come and show up. You don't do anything for us. You don't represent us. You don't talk about us. All you do is for your own gain of riches, you use
right,
the name Sussex.
right,
Well, I don't want you as
right,
using our country, our
right,
cities, and your title to
right, right,
benefit from us. when you can't even be considered to come to us
Right,
and tell us that and represent us as the Duchess of.
right. I mean, because that would be what was the one that abdicated? Would that be his great uncle? Is that
Yes.
how it works? Yeah, great uncle.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's like your great uncle and his wife. Well, first of all, she never, I guess, was even called Duchess. She never got Duchess out of it, but
No.
um, he was still Duke forever, but
Yeah.
wasn't like real well liked.
I think he was.
Even as time
I
went
think he was still
on, like
royal. Yeah,
yeah,
he was still a Royal Highness though. He
he
still had his
was.
royal
Yeah, yeah, he
title.
still does HRH. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to be fair, yeah, he may have used it, but he never because he was like, well, I've abdicated. I'm no longer
He
going to be
was
this. I'm
he
going away.
he was
So
very
I don't.
exiled. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
sort
I
of
don't. I'm not going to
separated.
antagonize you by hanging around.
Right.
Which I
He
think
didn't
if you,
write a book. He didn't like the
yeah.
things that he could have done at that time period, right? Like he didn't write a
Hmm.
book. Um, I mean, they show in like The Crown. Of course, he would do like interviews and different things, but the ones they at
Yeah.
least depict in the show are very much like they just kind of want to see where he lives and like see some
Mm,
stuff that like he used to be king kind of thing. It wasn't like
yeah.
he's saying a bunch of bad stuff about his family or blaming them for, you know,
Yeah.
I guess the
Well, he
most he
wasn't
said was that
spilling.
they wouldn't let him marry the woman he loved. So he was,
Yeah. Yeah, he was
yeah,
political to that, but he still knew his right place on what to say. He wasn't dishing out dirt and saying, God, my sister-in-law or my uncle, you know,
right, right,
they made my life a misery while I was there. I had
right,
to leave. Um, that's the difference, isn't it?
yeah,
Where they have just monetized every element they can. And
right,
instead of standing up and say, I can be better than most people and grow, I keep harping on. And it's like, how you all picked on me and you're all tarnished with the same
yeah,
brush. You as the media, you as the general public, you as my family.
mhm,
So nobody is correct. You're all
right.
against us. Well, when you have that scenario, that is a serious mental problem.
That's what I
You
was
need
saying. Yeah, it was like,
therapy.
that's what, yeah, it was like, I would imagine that they both have seen some therapy,
Yes.
especially Megan, I'm sure has, but as far as Harry goes, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
he's but hopefully, but I'm
Sorry.
saying, but recently, I don't know if he has as
Yeah.
like an adult,
Mm.
like
Well,
yeah.
sorry. We've always done this. That all Americans have therapists on call.
Oh right.
That's
Yes,
kind
yes.
of the European. Oh, they're in therapy all the time for crying out loud.
Oh,
You
is
know.
that what we're known for? Oh, that
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
get that.
Sort of
Okay,
thing.
so I didn't
So.
know that.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
yeah, if you say that she's had therapy, it wouldn't be a surprise. Oh, of course, yeah, they've all used therapists over
Right,
there.
right,
They all got business coaches and what have you.
right,
So
right,
that wouldn't be like a shock as
right.
such. Now, Harry having a therapist, that would be maybe a little bit.
A
Why does
bigger.
he need a therapist? But you're
Right, right.
right. The way he acting, he needs therapy too.
He's constantly the victim. I mean, he's
Oh
been
yeah,
that way like his whole life. He's always the victim. So, and
yeah.
there's validity to some of it, but
True,
also like
true. Yes.
some, yeah, but if that's your whole identity, like uh, that's not great for your own life. Like,
Yeah. He was
yeah,
never taught to grow up and get on with it. See, the British
yeah,
way is like, come on, stiff up a lip, old chap, and
yes,
get on with it.
right,
Slap
right,
round the edge
right,
sort of thing. He would have had that
right,
at the worst. I'm not saying it works, but
right,
you're told to move on.
right,
That's
right.
the baseline. Move on.
Move on. Yeah.
Um, is I'm sure you've seen them. Was it keep calm
Oh yeah, carry on.
um
Yeah, yeah.
and carry on? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and carry
always
on.
carry
Yes.
on. Keep
Right,
silent and carry on.
right, right,
So since the Queen was at war, is kind of come out of the war, you always
right,
carry on, do more and do better and move past it.
right, right.
So that is kind of
That is
like the
kind of like
thought
the full
process of all
process.
the English and British people,
Right, right. Well,
where in America we would
America, we
consider if you
consider
can't carry on, you go and talk to a therapist.
Yeah. And we also are like, don't uh suppress it. We're like, yeah, we're like, no,
Oh,
don't just we're like, no, 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 don't just like bottle it up and carry on. Like you're
yeah,
gonna explode. Don't do
yeah,
that.
and there's, I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's
Sure. Yeah, but
therapy is
you're right.
good in this
Right.
sense. So if you take that, flip the coin slightly, because you've all got therapists, that should make you a really easy people to get
Right.
on with,
Right.
because you should now be level-headed or know how to deal with difficult situations. And theoretically, therapy, everybody else around you without a therapist, because you're all
Right.
doing it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hybrid.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Where in England, if Harry comes across it, okay, Harry, come and sit down. Look, what is the big problem here? Why can't you move on as a general
Right.
conversation?
Yeah.
And I must admit, I've been there in the US and you say things, and people kind of come out like, so what is it about the thing that you found that was difficult? And it's like, nobody ever asked me this question before. Why is it that you kind of want to know how I
Right.
think or how I felt? How did you feel? I think I've told you this. I'm adopted. So how did you feel
Oh,
that
I
you
don't know
were
if I did know
adopted?
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
how do you feel that you were adopted and you didn't know your parents? I didn't want to know my parents. Oh, and
Yeah.
how do you feel by not getting I never had that thought process. Nobody's ever actually asked me this question to think
Right.
about how I felt because I didn't want to know about it.
Right.
But those
Right.
were the sort of questions that come
So
mainly from, should I say,
they make you,
Americans?
yeah, they're thought provoking. They're making you
Yes,
think about it.
yeah. I'm not saying it's in a bad way,
Sure.
but because the conversation is like, well, if you have an issue or a problem, air the problem and
Right.
move on.
Right. 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 That's that's funny. The I was saying the different, so I don't know if it is similar in England, but at least in my experience in the US is that uh we'll say everyone is all about mental health and mental health awareness.
Hmm.
When it
Yeah.
comes down to it, the females are always encouraged to get help, but the
Okay.
males, they don't real like they definitely support that and they'll be
Mm.
like a star in someone's like session. They don't need it themselves because a lot of times they know exactly what they need to do. They just need to do it. Like quotes.
And
um
yeah, I can see that being a very sexist
yes,
thought process.
it is. Yeah.
And
From even the
yeah,
most
it is.
some very liberal men are even like, yeah, but like, yes, it's really important. And like for them, it's sort of like, I think men don't do it until it's like a dire situation. They
Yeah,
won't do it
agree.
just because something's uncomfortable or a little upsetting or
Hmm.
stressful, They're, yeah,
Yeah, and I think a lot of this comes through the concept that women are very emotional and hormones affect
right,
the
right,
balance of your thinking process.
right,
Um, and because of that, it's natural to say, well, that's why they need therapy. But
right,
then the men also need it because they're not understanding the concept of why that is. So
right,
it works
right,
on both sides, but that's I think the sexist mentality behind it is like, well,
right,
women are all about feelings and what have you and
right,
discussing and
right.
don't talk to me about it. I know I'm your boyfriend, I know you're your husband, but don't talk, I am not trained in this. Go and talk to a therapist, please.
Right, right, right. Yes, that's true. Yeah. And I guess it's more acceptable because, whatever, it's still it's still basically like guys think they shouldn't cry, right? It's like women already
Mm,
are crying whenever, like go talk to a therapist. Like they are
yeah.
used to sharing their emotions, talking with their friends about this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
in general, straight male friends don't talk about that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like,
Hmm.
just to use Eddie as an
Yeah.
example, there's one of his friends, and I was asking him something about the friend and like the friend's wife in like a certain situation, and I was like, "Well, what are they thinking? What are they feeling about that?" And he's like, "I don't know." I was like, "Oh, you don't go there, do you?"
No.
Talk about
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
kind of like,
that's the logical next step is like, why wouldn't you ask about
why wouldn't you ask that? Yeah. And That's the thing, isn't it? It's like the difference between men and women in that sense.
Yeah,
I think men are getting, I wouldn't say better, but they've come to the point that, we're allowed to have feelings. We don't have
yes,
to hide everything. We don't have to bottle
right,
things up. We know there are exits to release the
right,
the thought
right.
process and talk. Um, it's coming, but
Yeah,
I think until the point of it's natural for a man to cry on another man's shoulder and say, "What the hell? Why do I
right.
feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this? What is it all about?"
right.
Um, it could be another 100 years. I don't know.
That's right. I
Um,
know. Which, right, they are coming
yeah.
around, but it also is very
Mm,
much, I feel like, because in general, we'll say half the, and at least America, half the group is coming around to this. The other half of the group is like, absolutely not. We're going back to the old ways of like men are
mm,
men and women are women and meh, meh, meh.
yeah.
You can tell which
Yeah.
side I'm
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I was going to say you got this pendulum effect. It's almost got to the top, but no,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
going back again. Oh,
yeah,
push it
yeah,
back
yeah,
again.
yeah,
Wait, no, we're
yeah.
coming back again. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think in my sense, I don't know if it's because I didn't have, let's say, a strong father figure at home all the time to say, right, you can't cry.
Oh,
So
right.
therefore, mum was a big presence.
Mhm,
Um, but also saying that, mum was very, I would say, liberal to teach
mhm.
things, and so therefore, like, doesn't matter. When I went to school, even in school, you
Yeah.
learn that this is the way to act. You will learn how to sew a button on your shirt. You will learn how to cook. You
Oh,
will learn
nice.
how to
Yeah.
clean. They were embedded. You had no option whether you wanted it or not. All the
Right.
boys would make fun of the girls there trying to sew things. Why would I press this? Will it cut my finger
Right.
off? Try it and find out. Ah,
Right.
okay, learn by mistakes. And then to get our own back, the girls then had to go to the woodwork class and the metalwork
Right.
class and the technical drawing class. And it was like,
Right.
what
Right.
do you mean you can't? You don't know which
Oh,
side the
that's fun.
protractor to own, So
Right. Right.
you got your own back in the same thing. But at least you experienced both sides of,
Both.
let's
Yeah,
say,
that
of
is
the
good that
education.
you had that. Yeah. We didn't have
Um,
that. So,
really. And I
yeah.
think that looking back,
Mhm.
it was very progressive to think this is what 70s and 80s to
Yeah.
have that.
Oh,
I still
very. Yeah.
thought schools still did that today.
I mean, they might in the
Um,
UK. I don't know. I mean, over in the US, a lot of schools, I think, stopped home ec like forever ago. The home ec class,
oh
like
wow.
that's where we only had home ec in middle school, and that was the
Okay.
basic cooking and sewing and that kind of stuff,
Mm,
cleaning. I think there was like an elective you could take in high school maybe once. I just know it wasn't like it was an easy one to take because you usually have to take something else. Like, so you never
mm,
got to do like the high school one usually. And they did
yeah.
have a shop class, but that was another thing where it was like very much, I guess, you worked it into your schedule if you really wanted it. And so, yeah, it was
Mm.
just like all guys. We didn't have to do it. So,
Okay.
yeah,
I think with when I went to our senior school between 11 and 16,
yeah.
that happened between 11, 12, and 13 in the first 3 years of senior school. That's when
Okay.
you did those because the
Uh,
last 2 years is when you then focused on what you were going to study and qualify in, whether you
oh,
wanted your
right.
English, your science, your maths, or technical drawing. So only the last 2 years would you then dropped home ec if you didn't
Right,
want to study it. Now,
right.
I knew I wanted to be a chef,
Oh, right.
and people
Yeah,
said, "Oh, uh, aren't you going to take cooking classes? Well, how am I going to qualify in cooking when I can already cook?" Um, it kind of defeats the object, does it not, to
yeah,
learn how to cook when I go to college and
right.
university to learn how to cook? Surely I should be learning other things. That
Yeah,
was me.
get
Um,
get a head start on it.
I already
Okay.
had a head start already.
Yeah.
It was like French. I was learning French in my junior school when
Oh,
I
okay.
was between 7 and 10, probably eight,
Right,
9, and 10. I was learning
right.
French. When I got to the senior school, I was 2 years ahead of everybody else.
Well, you should just use that to your advantage because I took so many years of piano lessons that when I got to
Mm,
high school and one of the electives was piano 101 or something. It's like
yeah,
for beginners, basics. And I took and my friend who also had tons of piano lessons, we both took it.
yeah.
Like this will be fun. This will
Mm.
just be easy. So
Well, I did take
yeah,
French anyhow.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I sailed through the first year and a half,
Right.
with the breeze waiting for everybody to catch me up, and then by that time, I think I got bored with it, and I was thinking of other things at that point.
Right. Right.
Don't ask a teenage boy what you're thinking of
What do
at
you
the age
think?
of 14, please.
We can guess.
Football,
But
soccer. Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I'll rephrase that into English.
sports.
Soccer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it works if it's American football. American football.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It works
Yes.
both ways. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just really good the time. I do have Piper. She's outside playing with friends, so I should go hang
Ah.
out with her. But it's actually gonna be warm this weekend. It's actually getting hot right now. I put shorts on. It's
Ooh.
like
Yeah. It's
80 or
79 degrees out.
77, but it was like 81 earlier. Yeah. And then it's gonna get cold again next week, I saw. But we're at least gonna have like a hot weekend, so that should be
Okay.
nice. What have you guys
We
got?
Well, at the moment, well, it's now 7 in the evening, so it's now 20 degrees, so that's 40, that's 70s. So it's probably
Oh,
about the
okay.
same temperature as you at the moment, which is
Okay,
not
nice.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Are you still
it
having
was,
the weird storms or no?
yeah,
Are
we're still having
yeah.
rain and thunder and that this week, considering this is low 20s this week. Last week was mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this morning it started off at 18, but we had 36 last week at one point.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
you've half the temperature between
Yeah,
one
yeah,
week and
yeah.
the next.
Right, right.
That's drastic.
Yeah,
Now you've been down in the 50s, but that
yeah,
temperature range you're feeling is the same as what we're
yeah.
feeling.
Right.
You've gone from
We
basically
had
80 to freezing.
yeah, overnight, I think 27 was the lowest we went for a couple nights. So it's like
Yeah, like
that
freezing. I
I
should have
know.
told Katya because we still. Can I go to England and feel the cold? I should have said you should have gone to Orlando. It'd been easier.
Right? Yeah, we were under a freeze warning. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see some of that. And but a lot of the US at the moment is under storm warnings, are they not? This
Yeah, is it
weekend.
snowstorm or other storm? I think
I think a lot of it's snow, I think.
yeah, I think Indiana snowstorm's coming
Yeah.
Monday, I think my
Te
mom said,
yeah.
or Sunday
Texas, I
night.
think, is as
Is
well.
it? Fun.
Just like England, and we're having rainstorms. It's like everybody's on yellow and amber alerts almost across
Right,
the whole
right,
world, either for rain or snow or ice or winds or whatever.
right, right,
It just seems to be a weird couple of weeks in
right,
January
right. It's just a very
for
eventful
warm, yes,
climate.
revengeful climate at the beginning of a
Right?
successful start of a year. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, at least I'll say, knock on wood, it looks like we're gonna have the good weather here this weekend while the rest of you guys have problems.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be this weekend, but today, well, if it's 20 now, theoretically, it's a little bit warmer. Um, so maybe it'd be a bit warmer. Oh, I can have a
Yeah.
look at my phone, can't I? It's here. Duh, right in front of me.
Right.
Weather,
Let's see.
whether it will or whether it won't. Let's have a look. Calendar. What's the weather
No,
app look like? Oh,
Mumsy
what's the
having
weather
trouble.
app? It's right at the very top. Duh. 20 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, rain. Oh gosh, we're having rain between 40% of rain and 75% apart from next Saturday. Temperature ranges today from 16 to 25.
Hmm.
So that's what, 16 to 32, so that's 60s to 80s basically.
Okay.
The top temperature next week. In fact, next Sunday, they're expecting 29, but the lowest, this is the weird thing for this time of year,
Yeah.
all of them are like 18 or 19 for the lowest temperature. you don't
And
get under 20 at night
oh, okay, interesting.
normally in summer. So
Right.
that just shows you how the temperature's dropped
So you
off.
guys have cold, yeah, happening too. Yeah, the middle of the week, at nighttime it'll get down to 33. Uh,
Mm.
the lowest high of the week is Tuesday at 54. But
Mm.
yeah, it's like 50s and 60s next week for high
Which for
temps.
which for January and February is kind of about where it is for a couple of weeks, isn't it, in
It usually
Florida?
is. Yeah, I feel like oh, like the night times and being in the 20s or closer to freezing isn't usually as often. I feel like there's like two
Mm.
nights in the year where it's like,
Yes.
never forget that it was 32 degrees once.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, we
but
had
it's
we had
it's been
freezing
more,
once.
yeah, it's been more, yeah, consistent this year where it's sort of like, yeah, it dips down and then we'll come up for a little bit and then dips back down.
Yeah,
So
that's where we are in summer at the moment, which is
yeah,
ironic because Christmas week and New Year is like mid 30s all the way around. At
right,
night, lowest temperature was like 21, 22.
right,
And you think that 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it shouldn't be that hot, but it
right,
is.
right.
Now we're getting to 18s and
18.
19s. That's like a 10-degree difference
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for you.
Interesting. Well, yeah, for me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Well, interesting.
For all
Okay.
those that are on the Fahrenheit one.
Yes. Oh, right, right. Yeah, we're just, yeah, we're talking for the Americans and the Brits.
Yeah. So if numbers confuse people, it's because we're trying to
That's right.
be very respectful of both temperature scales
Yes.
and
But okay, well, I will let you go, but it was
thank
lovely
you.
chatting, and we'll see what
Likewise.
what royal news we get in the next week.
Let me just double check. I do
Yeah.
believe next week is okay. That's the 30th.
Oh,
Um,
actually, you know what? I'm glad you said that. No tea time
ah,
next week because I will be doing tea service for a cocktail hour of a wedding. So
ah.
I'm going to be serving tea at this time next week.
Well, you have fun
Yeah,
serving tea then. I
thank you.
will
Or I
turn
guess
up by
I will
myself.
have, yeah, I will have just finished up. I believe tea is being served between 3:45 and 4:45. And then, yeah,
Okay.
and then I pack up and leave. But yes, I will
Yeah,
be,
you probably won't want to get
take
on
it
tea
back.
even while you're packing up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I can show you all about the teas that we did, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Okay.
Um,
So the 6th, February 6th is when we're
February the
next.
6th. Okay. Yeah, theoretically at the moment it's fine. I need to go and get some more tests done and
Okay.
a few other little bits and pieces. But at the moment it's not books. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Well,
keep
if
you
it gets
posted.
booked, you can always keep me posted. Yeah, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, well, I know where to find you. And I
Yeah, you
also know
know.
where you
Yeah,
live.
you know how to
And I also
contact
know
me.
where you live. Yeah, I know where you
Yes.
live and I know how to contact you. So you're
Yes.
not running and hiding
That's
that
right.
easily.
Okay,
Have a
well,
good
have a great
weekend.
weekend. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.